Alright, I am back and alive and sort of healthy. It's been a few weeks. I intended to do a video every week, but I got very slack with that, and so you're getting this video after I've actually had the colonoscopy. Um, because I'm terrible at filming and keeping up to date, I'm gonna try and keep this video smaller, but split it up into like three different parts. Um, First part, I'll probably just tell you about the rest of like what I experienced being on gluten. And then I kind of want to talk about what it was like to prepare for a colonoscopy and endoscopy because that was a fun experience. Yeah. Um, and then I'll tell you how the procedure went. And then lastly, we'll talk about what happened after, like what the results are, if there were any, or like, that sort of stuff, or well, what happens next as well. Um, so let's get started. So, for the last few weeks of the gluten trial of eating gluten, I had a lot of KFC, by the way. I wanted my KFC before I could never have it again. um, the symptoms I got with that, they didn't actually change that much from what I've already said. So there was like, that abdominal discomfort, the terrible bloating. I couldn't get to sleep in a very comfortable position. But again, all those things I'd sort of gotten before I started having gluten anyway. It was just tiny bit worse, but not the worst I've ever had. Um, Other than that, yeah, there was the headaches. That was fun, and like it was just random days that were like super bad, of like that's that heavy feeling and not really being able to walk around. But those were few and far in between, which made me very very happy. Because I thought it was going to be really bad. Overall, it was a bearable experience. I couldn't really do too much, and I think it affected me more mentally with being tired all the time. I slept so much and still just was not in the mood for anything. Obviously, it affected my mood and got me down in the dumps because I couldn't do anything and I felt tired, so I didn't want to do anything. It wasn't a good it wasn't a too good a headspace, but it was something I had, I guess, planned to get out of. I knew I was probably going to get in that headspace, not getting all my nutritional stuffs. Um, and yeah, so it was just like basically that all the way through. Nothing got worse, nothing um, got better. It was just sort of just like a 3 out of 5 the whole time sort of thing. But yeah. Now, the preparation for a colonoscopy. Basically, before you go in, so that they can get a clear view of your colon and all that, you kind of have to flush everything out. There's no pretty way of saying it. You have to flush it out. So basically, you have to take a laxative like 2 days before. It's terrible. It's no, actually, it's not the worst. What I had to do was take this thing called Pico Prep, and it's like just this stuff in a sachet that you have to mix in with, I think, just warm water. And I had to do that 3 times over just the last day before I went in, and it tasted awful, but it was all right. Um, on that day, like I couldn't really eat anything super solid. I think I was just eating jelly or something. I can't quite remember. Pretty sure it was no solids. Like the most solid thing I could have was jelly, and it all had to be clear. I couldn't have anything, I think, red or purple because that might show up as like blood or something in the colonoscopy. Um, so yeah, it was yellow jelly. That's what I had. And yeah, so with the Pico Prep, basically you drink it. 20 minutes later, you're supposed to like go to the toilet, and it's just not fun. Basically, you're supposed to be like going to the toilet like all day that day in preparation for the thing. It wasn't too bad. I don't think it. The first sachet that I had, so the first cup of the pico prep, didn't really hit until I had to take the second one. Um, and yeah, I'm not gonna go into details, but it flushes your system out really good. I did get the unfortunate side effect where basically it burned doing it. It was pretty horrible, basically torture by the end of it. Like, I wasn't even actually sure I'd be able to go in for the colonoscopy because I thought my reaction to the pico prep was like just not okay. It turns out that I just had the unfortunate deal of getting a not so common symptom of irritability down there on my skin. So yeah, that wasn't too great. That was the worst torture I'd ever been through. But on a lighter note, it usually doesn't happen. So if you ever have to do it, don't expect the worst. usually it's just smooth sailing. Just make sure you've got that toilet in view, and you're fine. And that's pretty much just the preparation. Like, I think I had to get up at like 5 in the morning, or like the morning of the colonoscopy, and had to take that third sachet, and just, yeah. So I was pretty tired by the time I went in for the colonoscopy. But yeah. The procedure was pretty straightforward. I kind of just went into the hospital. I thought I was going to have to wait there for ages because there's like 4 other people in front of me, but I don't know. I don't know what they were in for, so maybe mine was just more urgent or something, and I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I went in before them. So I was like only there for like 30 seconds. Meanwhile, they'd been there for 2 hours waiting. I felt a bit bad, really, but whatever. So I got in and out. So yeah, they took my weight and everything down, and just basically got me prepared for my colonoscopy, took me through what was going to happen. And then I think within the hour of that, I was like going in, basically. The nice woman, I think the one who was giving me the anesthetic, took me through that, and how I'd have to like wear a mouth guard for the endoscopy part, because apparently you can bite on the tube that goes down your throat. So I had to have that in, and she talked me through that, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm going to put a needle in your arm just so we can like put the anesthetic through you." And she did that, and then she told me to lay on my side. So you have to lay on your left side for a colonoscopy. Apparently that's how they do it. I think it's just easier. And then she told me the anesthetic was going in, and then I went to sleep because I was already super tired. Yeah. It was actually the best sleep I'd had in quite a while. Still probably the best sleep I've had in like the last few months, which is really sad to say. I guess I was under anesthetic, so, I'm gonna have a pretty good deep sleep. They did say that I might be able to hear like them talking or something, even if I was somewhat asleep, but I was just out like a light. Like, I just went to sleep, and then I woke up really in I think the medical room. The gastroenterologist was there, I think. No, a nurse was there, and then the gastroenterologist came in. So we'll talk about that. So when I came to, yeah, the nurse checked me over and was just like, "Well, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. I didn't feel like I was going to be sick or anything." And the gastroenterologist came through and basically told me what had happened with the procedure, and it was pretty smooth sailing. They gave me the results as well, so I've got like pictures of like my colon and like my throat and everything. It's kind of cool, but also kind of like, okay. They basically they didn't find anything, which, to be honest, was a little disappointing. I think I'd gone in there hoping or like having that expectation that they'll find something and then I'll be able to take a step forward in like figuring out what to do with my body. So yeah, I was disappointed because it felt like, oh well, this did nothing. But I guess that was just my initial reaction. I think now I'm a bit more okay. It's actually kind of like a good thing that there wasn't anything so serious that I guess they were like, yeah, you got this, like really bad. Um, so yes, no signs of anything, except for the celiac. Obviously, we always knew I was celiac, and they saw what that was. I've got pictures of like how it's like destroyed the villi, which is what celiac does. It destroys these little tendril things somewhere in your body that they're what sucks out the nutrients or absorbs the nutrients, I should say, from the food that you eat. So yeah, definitely got celiac. They took biopsies as well, from just random areas in my colon and throat. I think I don't know. Um, oh, that's right. I did have a pulp, which doesn't sound pretty, and I guess it's not that pretty. But it was it was right at my rectum, by the way, which is kind of funny. They had to remove it and basically clamp that area with like two metal like movable clamp things. I don't know, but now I have to carry around a card that has rectum in really big letters on it. And if I ever go to an airport, I have to show them to the airport people. Otherwise, if I go through metal detectors, they'll think I'm hiding something. So that's embarrassing, but I think I see the lighter side of it and think is actually kind of funny. um, but yeah, so I think that was probably like the worst thing. Obviously, looking it up, I think pulps are a bit rarer in people my age. Usually, like, I think if you're over 50, it's like one in four people have it, but 25, it's not so common. In saying that, not too many people around my age take colonoscopy, so I don't really know where that figure comes from. But I think that might also be the reason why they took some biopsies to look into it further. And I guess I'm hoping that after 4 weeks, because they said it was going to take 4 weeks to see what the biopsies show. I'm hoping at the end of that they'll say something, because I guess nothing new's been learnt throughout so far. So I'm really hoping that the biopsies give me something to work on, or at least lead to a path to go on and finding out what is happening with my body. And yeah. So it's been nearly 2 weeks after my colonoscopy. The first few days were not the greatest. I guess because I had that pulp removed. I couldn't actually sit on my butt for like 2 days. I had to like lay on my side. So that wasn't the best, but I guess I'd been prepared for that, and it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Like anyone would have had to have done that if I guess they had that pulp removed there. I'm back on a gluten-free diet, gluten-free, and it's been a bit better. Aches and pain wise, I guess I'm still super tired and needing that extra rest. I guess because the villi in my body haven't healed yet, so I'm still not absorbing nutrients like I should be. So that's not too worrying. Like that'll heal now. Um, if I do, I'm trying to go out a bit more and walk around because I haven't done that for months and I feel fat. So I've been doing that, and it's been okay for the most part. If it's too strenuous an exercise, like I guess I do get aches. But to be honest, I'm not sure if that's just like my muscles just growing because they haven't been used in so long. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Um, I still like I get random aches and pains just anytime it's random. But again, it's not as bad as it used to be. Whatever happened when I was on prac seems to have dumbed down a lot. I think it was a lot to do with a reaction to stress. So again, like it'll be good to see what those biopsies say. There's my diet has to be pretty strict too. I think while I was on the gluten diet, I did find out that I do have a reaction to other foods other than just gluten, so like can't have any spicy food like at all. Um, or just maybe herbs, I don't know. Just I'm trying just to have a really bland diet to be honest. Like um I had a movie night with my sister and partner, and we made like our own KFC things, but I think we over spiced it for one. But my reaction to that was like that heavy, horrible feeling of like I don't want to exist really. Um, so that was yeah, that was strange. I get that was also not too long after my colonoscopy, so it probably had something to do with that too. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm just waiting for my results, seeing how it's going. I'm trying to get back out there and get my life back in order. So, because I think I've been on kind of just like living in my own bubble a little while, and now it's kind of getting to that point where I just need to restart, need to just start doing things again because it's getting a bit, you know, not too great feeling. But yeah, yeah. So that's it. That's all I've got to say so far. I think I'll try and update with another vlog, hopefully a little more on time. You know, hopefully I'm not going to skip another 3 weeks. But yes, I want to do another vlog about the results I do get with the biopsies. I'm supposed to meet up with someone, I think, in another 2 weeks about them. Like I say, I'm hoping something will be there, but we'll see, and I'll update you then. Thanks for listening, and ciao.